It looks like House of X is in here. How are you? How are you? Yes, 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 yes.
Yes. How
Woo!
y'all doing?
I know, I
You
know.
know, we got Goddess Janae in the house.
Yes, some
Yes,
artistic
yes,
healing
yes.
expressions.
Hey.
Yes, we were gonna do what we do
And Goddess Tamika in her
for
TB's life.
for Sunday. Oh my goodness! I was like, let's talk about how this weather been so far.
Oh yeah,
it was beautiful.
My gosh.
We
I was loving
it
it.
was
You know, I was enjoying it.
beautiful. I was like, are we officially in November?
How about
Is
that?
this still fall? Like, I was like, I can get used to this. I can really, really get used to this.
And then
and then
I'm
like,
all right, enough
is enough. Listen, I was looking at the weather like, oh my God. I was like, all right, so I guess the fun is over. Enjoy it while it lasts because yeah. I'm like, I feel like that the cold wave is about to come. So yes, so yeah, and of course, every time I get on here, somebody decides they want to call me.
They sure do.
It's so weird. Every time you on here, somebody wants to call me. I'm like, I can't even deal. Can't even deal. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. But yeah. So how's everybody doing out there? Right. Yeah.
House of X.
How's everybody doing out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with you, Nate. How was your week? How was your week?
What I do? I presented at the Jazz Summit.
Nice.
Thursday and Friday.
Nice.
Yes, yes. Thursday it was just me and Tara, and then on Friday we invited what's that? My sister Phoenix. Phoenix came out. Okay. And Mama Marcy was there, and they joined in with us, and we had a really awesome sound healing experience on Friday at the Jazz Summit.
Awesome.
And right Philly, it was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I saw you had posted something about a sound healing or something, energy healing or something, or was that something else?
That's something else. Okay. Because I'm actually going to be doing the sound bath this Friday at the Energy Healing Center.
Right.
So we'll be doing that.
Hey, man, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. And yeah, but yeah, you know, I stay doing stuff.
I know. Listen, I thought my life was busy, but this one right here, like, listen, she got me beat, and I be playing the juggling act. I be really playing.
You should ask me where I'm coming from.
Yes. No. Yeah. Where are you coming from? Yeah, the people want to know where are you coming from right now.
Well, the Center of Peace in Philadelphia. There was that. I think it's every Sunday at 11 at the Center of Peace. They are on Green Street, right off of Green and Shelton, and it was really cool. It's a spiritual center, so it's like a center for a spiritual like lifestyle, right, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was a celebration. So we was in there singing and dancing. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, they had some food in there today. So yeah, and it was actually my first time going.
Oh, okay.
So and I came on a celebration day.
Oh, good. So it worked out perfect because you got to eat. I know that's right. Well, as y'all know, this is our weekly Sister Talk Live, and of course, we always got something interesting to talk about. Woo! Okay.
And so take a deep breath.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about, should you stay or go?
Should I stay or should I go?
So this is actually like a 3-part. So talking about relationships, talking about friendships, and talking about a situation, whether it's being at a job or wherever. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna try to get through all 3 topics under should you stay or go. But of course, we're gonna start off with the relationship part of it.
Okay, now.
Okay. So as always, we start off with what the experts have to say. Okay.
And and like relationship, because it's such a big thing.
It is such a big thing. It's such a big thing.
Should you stay or should you go?
Should you go? Yes. Yes.
I'm really curious. Just about this one here.
Yes. Yes. So we're gonna dive right on into this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So when deciding whether to stay or leave a relationship, you can consider things like how you feel.
How you feel.
Do you feel valued, respected, and happy? Okay.
What they say.
It say. Okay, so it tells you things that you should consider.
Yes.
Okay, when you're deciding whether to stay or leave a relationship.
Yes.
What you want.
Okay. And you want to feel respected, and what to say? Are you saying respected?
Yeah. So how do you feel? Do you feel valued, respected, and happy?
Valued, respected.
So how do you feel when you're deciding to stay or leave? So these are things that you want to think about. Consider these things before when you're having that conversation with like, should you stay or should you go? How do you feel about it? Are you feeling valued, respected, and happy? What do you want out of it? What do you want? What are your needs? And are they being met? This is something to consider when you're talking about whether you're going to stay or go.
Should I stay or should I go?
And what you're willing to compromise. Like, what you willing to compromise on? Are you willing to hide your interests or your opinions to be with your partner?
Are you willing to hide your interests and opinions so that you can be with this person?
Be with this person. Yeah, that one for me. Like, it's a lot of compromise, and especially in relationships. But it's like, what are you willing to compromise on?
Right. It's like you stop being yourself.
Stop being yourself. You stop being yourself. Like, are you willing to give up what you're interested in and stuff like that? Hello, welcome in. Yeah. So that's something to really consider, because I know for me, like, it's been times where I've really did so much compromising that I've like lost myself in relationships and stuff because the other person wasn't comfortable, or they weren't into the same thing, or they just had it for personal reasons.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
Relate to that. Like, it's like, are you willing to hide your opinions with your partner? What you're willing to expect. Like, so if you decided to stay, what are reasonable expectations for your partner? So if you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and stay in a situation, like, what's reasonable? Like, are you having certain expectations, like, from the partner if you stay? So it's like, what do you consider reasonable?
Right. Yeah, it's like, it's getting back to that, like, compromise.
Exactly.
And then, it's like the deal breakers, the things that, it seems like sometimes relationships, it'd be like, how much, can you put up with, or, what things you can't tolerate or something.
Yep, that you're respecting. What you've tried.
Oh, yeah.
What you've tried. What have you tried? If you decided to leave, have you done everything you could to improve the relationship? I can speak for me personally that I've said that like I've tried all different type of things to try to hold a relationship together. But it comes that fine line to like, is it worth it?
Right.
At the end of the day, is this person really worth fighting for? Because sometimes you can try and give so much into a relationship and the person is still not receiving it. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to really like soul search with yourself and say, you know what? I've given all I can give. I'm depleted. I have nothing left. I know that I've tried everything as possible to try to hold on to a relationship.
Right.
Right. Yes. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being ungrateful, or that it's all in your head?
So like they saying like that people like it's like you just consider that.
Yes, consider. Yes. Like, are you being ungrateful? So like, if you say, you know what, this person probably done a lot for you, and you say, you know what, I'm done. and then you get in your head say, but I don't want to seem ungrateful, like if I leave or something like that. So it's a lot of like different like underlying things that can make you leave. So we're gonna like get into different things to make you soul search and stuff. Okay. What you want in the future? What do you want in the future? Which path will lead you to the life you want? When you're deciding whether you should stay or go.
Should I stay or should I go?
They'll crack it up. Yes. What path are you heading for? Like, what path was going to lead you to what you want? Because sometimes, like, you can be with the partner in a situation, and y'all could be on taking two different roads, two different roads. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, y'all not traveling the road together. You're heading in one direction, they can be headed in another direction. So that's really something to consider. Like, are y'all both on the same path?
Yeah, and it's like, do y'all have the type of connection that can, handle that, and, especially when you're thinking long term, and that's the thing with relationship, because, I think sometimes people think short term for relationships.
They do.
You know what I mean? And so it'd be like, okay, I can deal with this for, this long or something, or, because of, some of these other options and things that they may be weighing. So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? But like when you're thinking long term, when you're thinking long term relationships.
Yes. What you want in the future. Yes. So what will you regret more? What will you regret more? Hi, I see friends coming in. Thank you for coming in. What you'll regret more? Staying or leaving. So would you regret it if you stayed? Would you regret it if you don't leave? So yeah. That's
and I know that people sit, and really do be considering all these different, thoughts and stuff, and that's why a lot of times people be like back and forth,
back and forth.
It's like, be breaking up, making up, breaking up, making up,
Yeah. This is like very like thought provoking. Like it makes you really think. Like, okay, let me think about these things. Like, am I willing to am I compromising too much? Like, what am I expecting from my partner? Like, what have I tried for the relationship?
Right.
Would I regret it if I leave? Or I regret it if I stay?
Yeah. Am I being ungrateful?
Am I being ungrateful? Because this person might have been doing so much for you, and it looks crazy if you leave this person.
Right. Because sometimes people be thinking that the grass is greener.
Yes.
Like, like, no, it's actually. What I'm saying, is desert over there. It's not grass.
Sometimes the grass is not always greener. So it's like so many different things to consider when you deciding whether you should stay or go. So it's the expert saying that the decision to stay or leave a relationship is very personal and subjective.
Right.
So some factors that can make this decision more complicated include being married. Yes, that is a big deciding factor. Like sometimes when you're married and you've been in a marriage for a while, it's like, okay, weigh the pros and cons of it. Is it worth into my marriage for? Or have I really been in a marriage all this time? Because sometimes you could be in a marriage and it's not really a marriage. Right. You're just stuck in a situation and you either can't get out of or you're afraid to get out of or something like that. It's like so many underlying things. So it says like being married, having children together. That's another one.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big one. That's a big one. Even like bigger than being married. I mean, both. I mean, but like,
especially
but when it's like, once children are involved.
Real children are involved, and everything's so tough. So tough. Yes. Yeah, I could like relate to that. Like being married before having children, and I stayed for a long term relationship with this person for the sake of the children.
Right.
And it ended up not being a healthy situation. It ended up being the best situation. And like I said before, like it took my child to be like, why are you married to my dad? I'm like, wow. Right. I was like, I'm trying to hold doing for the sake of y'all, and you tired of it. You over it.
Right.
You're over it. Yeah.
And that's part of, like you said, when you're considering these different things, you know, it's like, you know, considering what the children are being exposed to.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because sometimes it's like, you know, you may want to stay together, you know, with that person, you know, because you're trying to keep a 2-parent home.
Yes.
But if the 2-parent home is creating a toxic environment or dysfunctional environment, then, you know, you may need that separation. You know, saying it would be the best thing, you know, possible for that child.
Yes.
And, you know,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they said that sometimes if you're in a long relationship for, you know, in a relationship for a long time, that can be tough to leave. Yeah. I've seen so many people go through that. Like, I've been with this person for 5 years, for 8 years, and you know, like they literally be unhappy and miserable, and but I'm like, they looking at the time in,
you know, the time or what they've invested
into it,
you know. But I'm gonna tell you, I know a woman who she was married 35 years and divorced her husband after 35 years. And I'm gonna tell you, yes, what? I remember, and when seeing her then, I think she was like 70 when she was telling me that.
What?
And yeah, and she just seemed so happy because she had wanted to leave him years ago, but she was saying that they were staying together for the children.
For the children, yeah.
And but she said finally, like after, you know, like once the last one, you know, was like just, you know, grown and on their own, and she, you know, she said that's when she finally had separated. And yeah, but she said that, you know, because, you know, just her just giving me some conversation, because I have 3 children, you know what I'm saying? You know, my 2 daughters, they have their dad, and then my son has his father, you know, and we're not together anymore, you know what I mean? So it's like I have dealt with some breakups and heartbreak and, you know, stuff like that, and really, you know, wanting to, you know, hold things together and stuff, and you know, trying. And it's like, but I think, you know, sometimes, you know, I don't know, it's like just because, you know, 2 people aren't meant to be together, you know, it's like that doesn't mean that either one of them are bad people, or,
right?
You know what I mean, and stuff. Right. And so it's like, you know, you know what I mean, you can separate and still know, like, all right, you know what I mean, you know, it doesn't mean, you know, it's like you're a good person, I'm a good person. It's just not necessarily good together.
Good together
and stuff. But yeah, but you know, I remember it was talking to her around that time when she was like, okay, like the way the situation is now after all these years, can you see yourself doing 10 more years of this? Can you see yourself doing, you know what I'm saying, you know, 20 years of this, you know what I'm saying, with like where you are right now and what you're dealing with and stuff, you know what I mean? Because you can't, you know, it's like sometimes we be like waiting for people to change.
Yes.
And you know, I've seen the meme, the video of like the woman sitting, you know, by the window, then turned into a skeleton, waiting on her man to change. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
But it's like,
oh my God, yeah.
But then there's those other things to wait, you know, because if somebody is also willing to, you know, if you're willing to work on yourself and you're willing to work on things, and you know, and they're willing to, you know, work on things, and y'all like, okay, we're gonna work on these things together, and y'all able to build, you know what I mean, and you know, reconnect and stuff, you know what I mean, you know, it can be done, you know, but sometimes that wedge that gets between people just be too much, be too big.
It do.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Yeah. And I know, like you said, the between like being in a long-term relationship or being married or having children, stuff like that, is like these things. I think a lot of people just stay just because they're in situations. You know, like I said, when I left my first marriage, it was just like it was so bad, so toxic, and you know, I personally was reflecting and saying that I know I couldn't see myself another year with this person. Like it was like that bad. It was like I couldn't see a future. I just couldn't see a future. And you know, it was just like that every day, just not even wanting to be there or be present, you know, not wanting to like come home at the end of the day, you know, just thinking what life would be like without this person in my life, you know, like those were things that were constantly circulating, like in my head. Like I saw myself in a whole different situation that had nothing to do with them, you know, and I think it just kept, you know, replaying in my head until I had to actually ask God, like, to make this manifest, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of things, like I said. So if you're considering leaving a relationship, it says write down your thoughts, you know, can be a helpful strategy. You can try writing 5 to 10 sentences that start with the phrase, I realize that to be happy, I need.
Okay, I realize that to be happy, I need.
Right. Yes. 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 Yeah.
So do a little journaling.
Do a little journaling.
Some self-reflection. I think it's really important to like just and being honest with yourself.
Being honest, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know, meditate on it. You know, and like because sometimes like when we ask some questions and we get the answers. But sometimes when it's not the answer that we want to hear, you know what I mean? We be trying to ask the question in a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like trusting yourself, trusting intuition, and, trusting the answers. And the signs, because the signs be there. The signs be there.
Yeah, we're going to get to it. Good. I know it's good to get deeper and deeper. Yeah. So it says, so the expert's saying that deciding to leave can be very daunting, particularly if there's no urgent reason to leave. No urgent reason to leave, right?
See, and people keep hanging around.
Keep hanging around. Yeah. So they said, like, for instance, like if you're not being treated badly, and if you don't absolutely have to get out of the situation, so just because there's no need to escape the situation doesn't mean you should necessarily stay put if you're unhappy.
Right.
I can
if you're unhappy, because people will stay in something that unhappy situation,
right?
Because of some advantages,
right? Yeah, it's no dire need to get out. Like you're unhappy, but like you said, it could be benefiting you to stay in that relationship. Okay, a lot of benefits. Be like, but if I leave, then I might lose this, or this might not happen, and that might, like a lot of people have their motives and stuff for like not wanting to leave, knowing they got unhappy and miserable or something like that, right?
But they'll be waiting on
exactly. So the stay or go question is something most of us will face.
Should I stay or should I go? Every time you say stay or go.
So they said, like, most of us will face at some point in our lives, if we haven't already. That's the question that we'll face, like, should we stay or should we go, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's some clear indicator that something must change. So for me, that's like, okay, you might toss back and forth, like, should you stay or go? Unless it's that situation where, like, all right, abuse is happening, or like you're just super miserable and stuff like that. Then it's like, okay, I know I got to go. Sometimes that needing to go might not be the easiest situation, or might not be able to happen in that moment, but you already got your mind made up that you need to go.
Yeah, it would be crazy because sometimes it'd be like, and everybody else around you, it'd be like, child, you don't even need to ask a question.
Don't even ask a question.
Exactly.
This
shit is crazy.
Did you know you ain't gone? I know. And that's such a touchy situation. Like, there's some times where that you need to go like fast, and then you might have the resources. You might not be able to get away the way you want to and stuff like that. Because you, like you said, like if somebody like abusing you, you already know that ain't right. That you you need to get out of it, and situations might not even align for you to be able to do it. Right. And this is how like people get stuck,
Yeah, sometimes people may stay, like I said, because of their finances or something, and so they might need, like that support, and so then they stay in that situation.
But they said their choice could be really difficult, especially if it's not one of them situations like absolutely that you got to get out of there. It ain't no questions about it. Everybody around you need to go or whatever.
I'm like, if there's a situation where you are being abused, it's nothing to even.
It's nothing to talk about or think about. Whatever. Just get out. Go. Get your game plan in place. Get a support system behind you. Because in a lot of situations you can't make that exit plan without help of somebody. So yeah. They said many of us will default to staying where we are, even if we're unhappy, simply because it's easier than making a decision.
Oh wow! It's already kind of what's like set in place.
Yes. 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 Like, and for me, that's like the worst thing. Like, you ever like been somewhere or been around like a couple and you know they're miserable. They don't want to be in each other's company. Like one is always hanging out, or the other one always hanging out, or they making like comments alluding to the fact that they don't want to be there and stuff like that. And I'm always thinking like, well, why don't you just go? Why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? Like, why are you putting yourself through this? You're clearly unhappy with this person, But some people just don't want to make the decision to go. Wow, it was gonna take one of y'all just to be like, you know what, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. I guess
they figure it's like it's not bad enough.
Not bad enough. Exactly. Wow. It's like you're compromising your happiness.
Your own your own fulfillment. Your own
fulfillment. Yes.
Yeah, can we
Yes, we can. Yes. 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 I'll tell you. So it says, so what do you do if you find yourself in a place where you're wondering whether or not to stay? And what do you do if your situation is fine, but still causing you to be unhappy?
Yeah, so the situation is fine,
but it still causes you to be unhappy.
And you might be unhappy because of like just not being fulfilled.
Right.
So like says like they're not a bad person. They're not abusive.
Right.
I remember breaking up with somebody yesterday. They was saying you act like I mean, like I'm abusing you or something. I'm not abusing you. It's not this, it's not that. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, so you mentioned all these horrible things, but it's still like all these other things that
all these other things. Right.
Right. You know what I mean? Like how I want, it just my relationship to be.
Right. Right.
And so it's like just knowing I wasn't gonna be fulfilled in that relationship.
Right. That's why in the beginning it says consider these certain type of questions, right? So it says if you find yourself wondering any of the things that we talked about, or whether you should stay where you are or go somewhere else, before you take action, you need to do a bit of soul searching.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Yeah. What do you think about it? Okay.
Really be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself. Okay. So it said one of the things you should be asking yourself while you're considering whether you should stay or go is how much of your unhappiness is caused by a specific person or a situation. How much of your unhappiness is caused by this?
Caused by that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at all the slices of your pie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The different things, how's work, how's family, and then, you know what I'm saying? Your other relationships and stuff. And it's like, where's the tension?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The tension is like in that situation, that might be the situation that you might need to cut loose.
I said, it's all too easy to say, I'm so unhappy because my spouse drives me crazy. It's easy to say that. But it's important not to make assumptions about the reasons behind your mental state.
Okay.
So, you're supposed to be driving you crazy, but like, what's going on with you that you feel like you're supposed to drive you crazy?
How about that? So it's like still, okay, like, not making a rash decision.
Not making a rash decision.
You know what I mean? But breaking down the different things and stuff, you know what I mean? Oh, wow. Is it like some things that, some insecurities inside your own self? You know what I'm saying? And stuff. Some things that you just might be missing. Yeah. But that's what I think, like, just when you work on your own healing.
Yes.
When you work on your own healing, let them work on their healing. And just like, see if y'all still vibing.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Right. But it's like, yeah. I'm listening. What else they talking about?
So when you find yourself complaining about your situation, dig deeper and ask yourself, is this really that person or that situation that's bringing you down?
Yeah, like why you really mad?
Why you really mad?
Yeah. People be taking things out on their partner, and their partner had nothing to do with it.
Hey, how nothing to do with it. Exactly. Yep. It says, for example, like if you're unhappy with your spouse, or are you absolutely certain that your spouse is specifically the reason why you're unhappy? Are they specific? Now, you know that this person is really making you unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these is why you're feeling like this. You know, like what is this person actually doing to make you unhappy?
Right. How are they causing
how are they causing it, right?
Yeah.
To say, or you know, or could it be the situation you're currently in with your spouse? You know, sometimes like especially like new couples, they might have just like had a baby or something, you know, or y'all having financial issues, having a tough time.
Yeah.
So are you really unhappy with the person you're with, or you're happy with the situation that you're in with this person? You know, those are things that you really think about.
Stressing y'all out.
Stressing y'all out. Stress you out. Putting a strain on a relationship. And that happens. That happens a lot.
Oh yes.
That happens a lot. Yeah. Like so many couples go through things like you said, especially like with new babies involved, and you know, you got a new baby. It's a lot. You're not getting a rest, you know. Y'all gotta take shifts, feeling depleted. And sometimes like if the mom is staying home with the newborn and the partner is working, and of course the mom is exhausted, she drained, she been with the baby all day, up all night, and you know, and that could make a conflict because the other person might not feel like they're getting that attention and stuff like that, you know, and then they get all unhappy and stuff.
Sickness.
And sick, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that could put a strain.
That could really put a strain.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, but it's like, you know, it also shows you who people are.
You know what I'm saying, too,
you know, with the different situations.
Different situation.
You know, because, you know what I mean, say, you know, you had a baby and stuff, everything good before that, you know what I mean, but then he's not helping you, you know what I'm saying, you know, or and he's going out with his friends more because the baby's always crying, getting on his nerves,
right.
You know what I'm saying, right. You know, just different types of, and it's like, you know, you think that you guys is going to be, you know, this long lasting, wonderful thing. And, but then you see, it's like, you know, he's just not handling it, you know, right. You know what I mean, with the proper approach and handling it well. Right. It just gets harder and harder to deal with.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, I know. It makes you think. It's like, you know, so many different scenarios. So,
because you know, that also made me think. It's like, because sometimes you think that you're just at like you know, one of those like a mountain that you have to get over, and everything will, you know, settle back or get back to normal or something. So you still be like, okay, we can just get over this.
Get over this. Yes.
And we can just get over this.
Yes.
But you know, it's like, you know, the different situations, though, like I said, it just also reveals, you know, the type of person, you know, that they are, you know, when it comes to, you know, loyalty or feeling betrayed or, you know, just all those different like feelings and stuff.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
Whew,
I know. So now another question. Okay, when you're deciding you should stay or go, are you contributing negatively to the situation?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you know.
Yes.
Accepting the part that you play in the madness.
So we're changing yourself change things.
I'm like to the left. To the right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, can you, you know, if you know what I'm saying, make some adjustments, and then next, you know, things can be better. Well.
Yeah, are you the deciding factor whether or not the situation is going crazy. Okay. So after contemplating whether the situation or person is, in fact, the true cause of your unhappiness, it's time to turn attention to yourself.
Holla. Real talk.
Real talk. Yes. So are you in any way contributing to your own unhappiness in this situation?
You better check yourself.
Check yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because the other person could not be the reason.
They be chilling. They
be chilling, being nice. Right. Like, this is what you need to
look. They trying to support you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. It's like, you're unhappy, you need to like really dig deep and see, like, is this something that you're doing? Like, what's going on with you? You know?
Yeah, what's really going on?
What's really going on? Yes. Yeah.
Woo, How about that?
Yeah, so they said, for an example, like, if you're struggling to live pleasantly, like with your spouse or partner, ask yourself, if perhaps you might be difficult to live with.
Yeah, because people don't ever think it's them.
They don't never think
They
it's
always
them.
want to point the finger and blame other folks.
Yeah. Are you the one that's difficult to live with?
Am I the one that's difficult to deal with?
Like, am I a problem?
I be chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes, it's like, I chill too hard and, it's just, making sure that I'm, paying attention, giving that attention to my partner because I have so many interests. You know what I mean? I like planning days. You know what I mean? I like doing these things. I like, being around people and stuff, but I also like being at home and I like being in my solitude. Just kind of, just, like, what I mean? I get into what I'm doing. And so it'd be like, yeah, like I say that to people all the time, like, I'll be in my own world.
Listen, sometimes you need to be in your own world. Sometimes you need to be in your own world. But like I said, when you start feeling unhappy in the situation, it's like, okay, like, are you the contributing factor?
Right.
to why you're not happy or they're
unhappy. You gotta explore that within yourself.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because sometimes some people could be like loners or whatever. Sometimes like one person could be that real like that hermit. They don't like to do things like they get in their bubble. They like what they like, what they want, and then you might have a partner that might try to pull you out of it, and you're miserable. Like, no, I just want to do me. I just want to sit in my bubble. I want to sit in my corner, read my book. I want to do whatever. And then you're like, oh my god, like you get that
because they want to party.
Yeah, right. Like, so you got the other person on the other side, like, dang, like you don't want to do nothing. You always in there, and then you got the person that's like, once that solitude is probably like, oh my god, I just wish they leave me alone. I just want to drag me. I just want to do something. You know what I mean?
So just have a quiet.
Can I have a quiet night? So that could really be tough. Like I've literally been in a situation like that. Like me outgoing, love to dance, go out to our thing. How we used to do in our heyday and stuff, right? But I was with a partner that was, very like a hermit. Like they were so content and just sitting in front of the computer, just scrolling, watching TV, never wanted to do a lot. I'll be the one be like, come on, let's do something. Like I don't want to sit in the house another weekend or why don't we just go out and do something? Like I had to be that person to like try to pull them out and do something. Right. And for me it was frustrating. It was very frustrating. And the other person was kind of like, all right, like, I'm cool. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? So hence that opened up a lot of free time for me to be like, come on, sis, let's go. Hang out and stuff. Like I think we got to really like hang out and do what we like because I was with a partner that was really cool with just sitting like a hermit. And for me, it was making me miserable. It was making me miserable. Like
you wanted his company.
I wanted his company.
Yeah. And I know sometimes they'd be like, oh, go.
Right.
But you'd be like, I want to go with you.
Right. Like
together.
It's for me. It was tough. It was tough to be in that situation. Wanting to do things, wanting to explore, and having someone that really had no interest. Like we would like do things like occasionally, but it would be a lot of me like. It's like recommending stuff, or it will be on their terms when they were ready to do something. And even then, we would go to places and like, it's still that bump on the log type of situation. I'm outgoing. I want to have fun. That's the reason that we're out to enjoy, right? So that can be during those situations.
Yeah, because it's like, y'all be two different type of people.
And I was like, I knew I was just like, oh, God.
Right. And sometimes opposites, can attract.
Right.
And it's like, and they find a way to make it work, what I mean? But, it's like, that also, like, having something in common, it's like, that'd be really cool. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, you'd be like, hey, what I mean? And then you feel more like you have a best friend.
Right. Exactly. Like, just, like, with my hubby, like I feel like we have so many different things in common. We love to hang out. We love to travel together, do things together and stuff. Like we have fun. Like we like really enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
So it's very rarely that you see one of us without the other.
Right.
we enjoy doing things together.
Yeah.
And it's not like a lot of situations where I gotta be like, baby, come on. And he'd be like, no, so, every now and then he might get in that moment that he don't really feel like it, but, that's not a lot. It's not a lot. So it's a lot of things that we just enjoy doing. And and I know, like, if he come home and be like, babe, let's go do dinner. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's be so. It's just like we had that type of relationship, but it works, and that's when it makes you feel like that you have like that best friend, that you want to do things with, and they're just not miserable, and they're not making you miserable, and you don't feel miserable, stuff like that. So, that's really. Very tough. So if I said, they said, ask, if it's you, it's difficult to live with. I was like, I ain't feeling like it was big, but I knew that it was like tough with that person. So,
like, how about that? Because some people could be like hard to satisfy. Hard to
satisfy.
And even when they may think that they're easy to satisfy something, but it just depends on what it takes to satisfy them.
Right.
Because it could just be that one thing, but if that's not something that you interested in, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. So, another question. It says, what about your situation that you don't like?
Yeah. So it's like, like you said, exploring all of those things, I'm even like writing that down too. Take notes on that.
Take notes. What don't you like about the situation?
Yeah.
If you're thinking about whether to stay or go, what don't you like about it?
Should I stay or should I go?
What don't you like about it? I said, would you find these things elsewhere? If you don't like something in your situation, would you find it elsewhere if you left? Right?
So it's like you never know. You can manifest as visualize and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to go ahead and
Yeah. Well, if you haven't determined that's a sign that maybe you shouldn't leave the situation. If it's something that you really don't like about the situation, maybe it's a sign that you shouldn't leave it. But instead, you should do more inner exploration to find out where the feelings of disconnect are coming from.
Okay, so it's saying like look at the things that you don't like about your situation, and then see so it's like explore those things and see like what can change.
Yes, well, where's the feelings of disconnect coming from? Because if you find some things that you don't like about it, then something's going on. It's a disconnect somewhere. So these are things that you need to think about.
Might could be easy fixes.
Right. Exactly.
And it said
exactly. Yep. And they said, and it'll help you pinpoint exactly what you do not like about the situation. So if you just start thinking about, well, why am I unhappy? It's nothing that I really don't like about the situation, but I'm unhappy. But so try to pinpoint exactly what it is that you really don't like, because it's something going on. The reason that you unhappy about your situation. Yeah. And it could be something small or minute too, or it could be something grand and you just don't want to face it or admit it. You know
what I mean? So it's like accepting the situation, in its authenticity, for like what it really is.
Right.
What's going on with you and what's going on with that person, and instead looking at the situation that y'all in.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it says, so you can note very specific instances. Be very specific about it.
Yes.
I remember when that this happened, or I didn't like this when, Be specific about
it. This is an issue for me.
Yes, like they said, such as like, I want to leave her because there's a lack of intimacy. So, yeah. Like if you're unhappy,
or I want to leave him because that time that he disrespected
you. Right. Exactly. Be real specific about it. Okay, it said, and spend time on it. Like give yourself a week or so to note those specific or general experiences that make you feel like that you want to leave the situation. Yeah. So you just sit there, write down the little things, that you didn't like. Exactly. So, yeah, because you never know. Like when you get the right, and they be like, I didn't like this, and then that could be like the source of why you're unhappy. And it's like, okay, is it fixable? Should I bring this to the other person? Is something that we could get past, or is this something I really feel like I need to leave because of?
Yeah.
But sometimes seeing it on paper.
Yeah, some of those different moments be like game changers.
Game changers.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's
yes.
like, you know,
yes.
it could just be like a certain incident. Even sometimes it might just be like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it'd be like, whoa, wow, okay, like that just changed everything.
That just changed everything.
You know what I'm saying? It may change the way that you think about a person, or you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you feel disrespected, and then it's like, you know, that you may not respect them because you feel like they disrespected you.
Right.
Just,
exactly.
Yeah, resentment starts
Yes.
starting again. All kinds of.
Yes. And it says, so once you have a list of things that you don't like about your situation, look closely at them. Are these things that would be present in another situation?
Oh.
Right? For example, if a decrease in intimacy is your problem, is it possible that it would happen if you were in another relationship?
Oh, like it was the next, you know what I'm saying? Like if you leave this relationship,
yes,
when you get into the next relationship, he gonna complain about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Is she gonna complain about the same thing? Is she, you know?
Yeah.
So you be like, all right, look, I'm gonna leave her because
you know
what I mean? And then you go over here, and then it's like, you know, it's the same thing. It's that means it's you. It's not them.
Because and that's where like a lot of cheating stuff come in, because you know, especially when the other person feel like they're not getting what they need, getting their needs met on an intimate level, then like they go elsewhere to try to get it, whatever. You know, and sometimes you can be the same situation. You know what I mean? So, because things ain't like might not be working on the intimate level with that person, don't mean that it's gonna change because you go to somebody else. You know, but this is when people start stepping out. You know, so they feel like they're gonna get something different or better somewhere else. You know, sometimes that can be true, and sometimes it cannot be true. You know, yes.
Yeah. But you know, I started thinking about that when you said like about doing everything you could.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you know, so like I always think that one of the things, you know, like therapy, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like a lot of people, you know, like they don't be wanting to do that or have a mediator or, you know, some stuff. But I think that, you know, like I just used to think that, and, you know, that it helps. It can help, you know, save a relationship. And so people shouldn't be so afraid of it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that just may be like the very thing, you know, that could actually save, you know, a marriage.
Okay, so now we talked about things that you might not like about the situation, because we're talking about should you stay or go. Okay, so we did.
Should I stay or should I go?
Yeah. So now just think about things that you do like about your situation. Like, would you find good things somewhere else? Like, so, you know, do you understand? Like, what do you like about it?
No, because you'd be like, all right, well, they do this, that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you think this person, you know what I mean, are they gonna, you know, I don't know, when they make your pancake and they put the strawberry and they draw the little heart.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Is that something that just warms you?
Right. Exactly. Like, would you find these good things elsewhere?
You know
like, sometimes the little things can matter.
Right. Some of the little things that be specific to that person.
Yes. Yeah. That's real talk. That's real talk. You know, you might not be having a situation, but they might do little things that, you know, you go to the next situation and that won't happen. Could be non-existent. And then it makes you think like, dang, I remember when such and such would do this, that,
then you know, be with somebody else and be like reminiscing on the old love. Like that Jill Scott song. And why was she talking the perfume? And she was like, yeah, I tried to get my new man to wear it, but it stunk on him.
See? Exactly. Like, sometimes it can be them little things that make you think like, wow, like, okay. It says, so when you're considering whether to stay or go, it can be challenging to focus on all good aspects of the situation.
Right.
So by the time you've gotten around to asking, should I leave? You're often focusing a great deal of attention to why you're unhappy, instead of focusing on things that do make you happy or the little small things that you do like about the situation.
So that just put a thought in my head because, you know, there's been times that I know of women who have just stayed just because the loving one's good. You know what I'm saying? just that love good. They be like, you know, because they be like, why is you? And they be like, girl, like the.
Like, forget anything else.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to say you're going to be abused. You're going to take off, you know what I mean? Because, you know.
Be like, yeah, but he don't take you nowhere. Yeah, y'all do like y'all going to the drive-thru McDonald's, but you be laying the pipe though, right?
You know what I'm saying? And they don't want somebody else to get that. Or more, you know what I mean? They figure like, you know, they rather try to hold on to it.
I'm crying. I'm correct it up.
My friend called that being digmatized.
This is such thing.
Yes.
But what about the good aspects of the situation? It's just as important to take those into account when making your decision.
Right.
Think about the good things.
Think about the good things.
Think about the good things.
You know what I mean? Do they outweigh the bad things? You know? But it still always depends on what those bad things are. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know, so you're thinking about the good things, you know, but you know, it's like you still don't want to tolerate somebody's disrespect.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, and stuff. You know what I mean? It comes back to like, you know what I mean, you know, it's those good things. Is that enough, you know what I mean, to make you, you know, to where you won't be unhappy? Right.
But they say thinking about the good things about your situation is just as important to take those things into account when making a decision. So if you're considering whether to leave a relationship, now is the time to consider your partner's good traits. Okay. Like what you like about him or her. Would attract you to that relationship in the first place.
What makes you be like,
what you two do not fight about, you know? Like think about all those different things, those factors and stuff, right? That's why I think it's really important that you like sit down and just write down like the things you don't like, the things you do like, and outweigh like the pros and cons. You know, is it more good than bad, or is it more bad than good? And that would really probably like helps you with the deciding factor, you know, about staying or going. Right, because there could be good things about it that you really are not paying attention to because you're focusing on being unhappy or not thinking about, you know.
Right, because you know sometimes like, you know, like a negative feeling incident can weigh so heavy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It can make you forget about all the good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Forget about all the good things.
You know what I mean? You know, and sometimes, you know, like say, you know, you see, and you even see in the movies and everything stuff, you know what I mean? You know, like, you know, something happens, you know, and then sometimes you like with cheating. That's where it really be like coming up, you know, it may be like this relationship. And then, you know, the person, they step out and that's usually what they say when they're trying to come back, when they're trying to keep their relationship together. It's like, oh, it's just this one incident. Like, what about our 10 years of, you know what I mean?
Listen, those are my deal breakers.
That
is my deal breaker.
Me too, girl.
We've been together 50 years.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my deal breaker. That's my deal breaker. I don't even care. I'm like, shame on you. You ruined all these years we had together for a piece of town. Are you kidding me? Like, no, shame on you. And then you want me to hold it together because you had a moment? No. No. Like, you should know better. You should know better. I'm not even blaming the other person. Just you should know better. Exactly. No. I'm not that forgiving. No.
I hear that.
I'm not. This one thing in the world that anybody knows. That's one thing I don't tolerate. Like just even the thought of it, like that you were trying to or thinking about it.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm like, oh really? Oh, that's what we doing. So this is what's on your mind is trying to step out and really? Okay.
Yeah, mama, it's like suddenly I'm like, you didn't ever love me anyway.
You ain't look right. Exactly. I'm like, oh, so you had thoughts, so you was trying, or you talking on the phone to him and texting him, or you texting him out and all that. I was like, for me, that's just as bad as doing the actual act because you know you're giving this person, you're building a relationship, you're giving this person your time and attention that they should never have in the first place.
That's
just as bad as giving them all the energy. Like, why would you do that? Give somebody else, get somebody else that energy. Right. You know, that's just as bad. It's like I broke up with people for that. Be like, oh, okay, listen. I be like, stay with that. Stay with that. I'm like, you wanna be calling and hanging out and taking them out. Okay. I'm like, you might as well did the D because it's just as bad because you gave them time, attention, and energy. Okay, which you should have did. That's your partner. That's your partner, exactly. If you're going that far, you might as well. Shoot. Child, I'm done. I'm done. And I said, girl, listen, everybody, listen. Everybody know me. Child, I take that real personal. Yeah, I take it very personal. I do. For real though. I take it personal. I do. Yep. And I said, for last thing, how can you communicate your feelings? What reaction do you do when you try to communicate? Like, what you receive when you try to communicate with your partner? Yeah. I said, people often leave situations because they feel unloved, unappreciated, and unheard. Yeah. And what just made me think about, like, sometimes, people be having, like, a lot of other traumas that's outside of the relationship. Yes. And so sometimes, that's why we keep coming back to that healing, because when we're working on our own healing, it's like sometimes, if you're not, in the process of healing, you still be having a lot of those traumas. It could be easily triggered. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And, and they might do something that's small that creates this, like, where now you feeling this huge impact because of something that happened to you was 9. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's really not even about them so much. You know what I'm saying? It's more about, like, your, some past trauma or something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like that, yeah, really, really diving deep. Really diving deep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Really diving deep. Like, sometimes that's true. That's real talk. Like, sometimes you can feel unloved. The person just not giving you that extra to make you feel important. That's real. A lot of people leave situations because of that, and like feel unappreciated. Like you're giving, you're pouring so much into it, and the other person is not appreciating it, like, or they're expecting it and they're not giving it back. Sometimes, like, it could be like so one-sided in a lot of situations. Yeah, and it said not feeling hurt. You might say, this is, I feel this. That'd be the big thing. That'd be the big thing. Like, I gotta feel understood. Right, exactly. Like, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to tell you these things, and you're just going through one ear or the other, or you don't want to hear what I got to say. Yeah. Okay, what I'm saying is very valid. I just need you to validate it. Like, don't discount it. Right. Right. So yeah, like that makes me. I started to like shut down. You know what I mean? When it be like, okay, I'm not being heard. I'm, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being understood, because it's starting to be like, like, okay, all right, you know what? Like, just. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, we're just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't get here, you know what I mean? And it's because it starts to become really stressful. And I don't know, just how I am, it really be turning into physical, like, pain for me and stuff, you know what I mean? And so I just be, like, refusing to deal with stress. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because things start hurting. And, for me, and I'm like, my stomach is hurting, my head is hurting. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, it just be all right. Yeah. So I be like, feeling like it's so important for me to keep my balance. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm always trying to, like, stay on that. I'm always, just working on being in my peace, because the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Just, what I mean? How, me, like, as a child, the opposite just be something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like once I'm getting out of that. And so I don't like being in situations where it's bringing me out of my peace. Out of your peace. You know what I mean? Especially, like, in my home. That is one place I'm going to have some peace. We just talked about it. Like, having peace in your home, and how people can stress you out, and it can hurt you physically, all kind of stuff. Like, so yeah, right. Your body start going to stress. Was that last week? That was last week. And stress and creating disease and stuff like that. What? No, I'm a don't, not never. You're not doing that. Not doing that. Not doing that. I remember being in a relationship one time, and my dad was like, "He will make you old," and I was like, "Oh my gosh." You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, no, I need, you start wearing it. and it start taking over your body and stuff like that. Yes, child.
Yeah, he said that to me. That resonated so much with me in that moment. I was like, yo, was like the way that we been arguing and fussing and fighting. And,
Yeah. Yeah. So it said like there's a difference between feeling unheard after you've spoken up and expecting someone else to know what you want and need.
Right.
So there's a difference between that. Like, so if you're speaking and they are not hearing you, that's different, you know. But if you're not speaking up, then how are they going to know what you want?
Right. So you have to. So it's about you communicating.
Communication is key.
That effective communication.
Communication is key.
But yeah, but it's like, but when you telling, and it's like the response. You know what I mean? You know, you're not getting, but like I said, it all be telling because you know you start to see how much a person cares about you or not.
Yes.
Regardless of what they say.
What they say.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know. Yeah, because like you were saying in some of this previous stuff, you know, because you know what I mean, like I said, people they may say something because they're trying to stay around a little bit longer. Because it's you know what I'm saying? You know, so it's just like really really the awareness and really paying attention to all these different
things. Yes.
Yes, I'm cracking up. Why I start thinking about all the breakup songs too.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. They say the key to communicating effectively is to be open and honest, and focus on sharing how you feel without making assumptions about another person's feelings or you know, or assuming blame to it. You know, so you had to start with being open and honest about it, and you know, in order to know if this person is actually receptive to what you're saying, if are you actually feeling unheard, like you got to start with the communication first. You know, so. Whew, yeah. So either way, the decision to stay or go is not an easy one.
Right.
It's which is why so many people stay where they are rather than doing the hard work of determining if that's really where they are meant to be.
Yeah. Wow, it's like you know what? And I've heard people say they be like, "Oh, like relationships is tough." You know what I mean? So like, I might as well tough it out with this.
Person.
You know, kind of thing. Because they just think like, you know, you go over here and it's just going.
And there's actually a song, something like that says, "I'd rather have bad times with you than have good times with someone else."
Oh wow.
Yes. Yep. Like if you truly want to live in a positive present life, if it's important to be accountable for yourself. And where you are.
I'm sorry, another song popped in my head. That I'd rather be alone than be here unhappy.
Right.
I'd rather be alone. You know what I mean? And then, like I could do bad all by myself.
Yeah, I could do bad all by myself.
Look, I want to hear about y'all. Text us some of y'all your breakup songs.
I know. The chat is pretty quiet. Chat is pretty quiet today. Yes. Like I said, it's important to get and stay in situations because you want to be there.
Right.
Not because you feel like you have no other choice.
Yeah.
Yes. That's number one for me.
Yeah.
Like because you want to be there, not because you have
need to.
Right, because you have no other choice. So that's not a good reason to stay in a situation.
Right.
Not at all. Right. Not at all. So yeah, so we just talk about different things that you should soul search about, you know, when you're deciding whether you should leave or stay. But they have a lot of...
Should I stay or should I go?
but they said there's a lot of signs to let you know when it's time to end the relationship.
Yeah, how about that? Let's hear those.
Let's hear those, right? So, like, you both have stopped trying.
Yeah, it's like when y'all both have given up.
Both have given up. Both have stopped trying. That's a sign that it's maybe time that you end it. There's no emotional or physical connection.
Yeah. For real though, it's like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Is it like you're not physical? You're like y'all not emotionally connected. You know, you see the person, you be like, ugh. Like I don't want you. I don't want you touching me or hello. You know, it's not the genuine give me a hug or a kiss when I see you, or I want to bump your bones when I see you, something like that. Yeah. So you know it's time to end it if none of those things are happening. Like you have different goals in life.
Yeah.
Your goals are different. You know, you're especially like when you want to start a new venture or you or go in one direction, the other person are not on board with it, then maybe it's time to end it. because they can literally hold you back. I've been in
Yeah.
situations like that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was literally being held back of
Yeah.
pursuing my dreams and what I wanted to do.
I let somebody go because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he wanted to, you know, move away and wanted me to come with him and everything. And it was just like, man, you know, like, you know, yeah, I felt like I just needed to let him go and do what he needed to do.
Okay.
And, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. Yeah.
He was really sad, but I was like, I can't go with you.
Right. I was like, I'm not, I still have things I'm trying to do. I mean, that's your like dream or vision or something, and that's not mine.
Right. And I didn't want him to like not go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And missed out on
absolutely
his opportunity. So like they're trying to stay back for me.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. That definitely can relate to that. Definitely can relate to that. You no longer trust each other.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Right.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all stop trusting each other. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Because relationships should be built on trust. And if y'all don't have that trust, then y'all not going to get very far. Because then it's like every time the person step out the door or the phone ring or whatever, it's like, who's that? What they doing? I wonder who they mess. You know, like it's woo. That can mess with you. Start messing with you. Start messing with you. Because you always thinking
what they doing, where they at.
What they doing. Yes, all the time. Yes. Ooh, so you can't imagine the future together with this person. Like that happens too. Like I know I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready to be over. Like I can't see me with them with this time next year or in a couple years, something like that.
Right.
Like, you don't see a future with that person, you know it's time to let
go. Remember the lady who I said, you know, left her husband after 35 years of marriage. That was what she said. You know what I mean? She was like, you know, like, can you see yourself with this person 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You know what I mean? But she was big on like, you know, because, you know, like say, you know, we always think about, oh, you know what, if this change or if that change and stuff. And she was like, you know, like, no, like you, like they're showing you who they are.
They're showing you who they are.
You know what I'm saying? Like seeing who they are and, you know, like, can you deal
with it? Exactly. And
a
lot of times that could be that time when you're like, no, I can't. I can't see myself dealing with any more of this.
Right.
Yes. So there's constant conflict or abuse in a relationship. Yeah. That's when you know it's time to go.
Man, that constant conflict, that constant bickering.
Always arguing, bickering, or like abuse, it could be mental, emotional, physical abuse. Yeah. You know it's time to go. You know it's time to go.
Like I said, it's
these
just
things
toxic.
that happen, just so toxic. It's just toxic. You know that's time to go. It's like it's really not a lot to really think about. And in that kind of situation, you know, only thing you should be thinking about is your strategy and your exit plan. That you really should be thinking about.
Yeah, and I like how they list all the other things though. Like you said, so if there's a lot of bickering and stuff, and it's like, okay, what are we bickering about, right? You know, we sit down and we try to understand what's really going on. Like you say, you know, is it deeper? Is it bigger than us?
Is it bigger than us?
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Is it something else? And, you know, is it something that we can work on? If we work on this, will that help us get back on it?
Right,
you know?
right. Exactly.
Yeah. So like that, you know. Exactly. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of like relationship exploration too.
It is.
Not even just looking at yourself, but, you know, the two of you looking at the relationship.
And it says, so your needs are not being met. Your needs are not being met.
If your needs are not being met. Yeah. How about that?
Yes. That maybe it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's also, I guess, when it's like, you know, can you do your needs to be met by this person? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, is it something that you can do yourself?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Good point. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Is it a change that you can make, you know what I mean? You know, or could you be putting too much on that person? You know, sometimes too, you know what I mean? It's so, you know, it's like, I don't know, I guess going back to that compromise and understanding and, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, it may be where somebody, they're in a situation and it'd be like, okay, you know what I mean? You know, I could do this for you right now, something like that. And then you can do that for me later or, you know, kind of thing where we can kind of, you know, try to, you know, have some sort of understanding.
Wow. Yeah.
Something, you know, it's just.
You're seeking those needs from someone else.
Huh?
That's when you know it's time to go.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get those needs from somebody else. You're seeking them somewhere.
All right. So that just took me back to, because I remember, like, you know, just you know, say like we're going to the movies and stuff like that, you know what I mean, and being with somebody that did not like going to the movies or like the theater or the theater, and you know, and me wanting to go out and go into a play or something, they immediately critical, and it was just like, all right, it was like, see, you the type that'll make you go get a boyfriend, so I can go to the theater and have somebody take me out, and I could be like,
that is real talk. Like, you know, especially knowing like people that's married and they be like, oh, my spouse don't want to do this. And, you know, they trying to find it somewhere else. Like, well, I just need somebody to take me out, or I want to go, like, you know, because they don't ever, I want to go dancing. They don't want to take me dancing.
You know, it's like good thing, like, you know what I mean? You know, you was able to call on me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And stuff, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But, you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's so many different things that resonate. Like, oh my God. I knew it was time to go because it was like I can't even go dancing with my man. That's crazy. Yeah. You're scared to ask for more from your partner.
Oh.
Scared to ask for more from your partner.
Scared to ask for more.
Yes.
Yeah. How about that?
You want more and you need more, but you're scared to ask for more. So maybe it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Your friends and family don't support your relationship. Like they see the craziness, they love it well that you should be with that person.
They over there looking like
I can't wait till you break up. I can't wait till it's over. Yeah, you know it's time.
They be clapping when y'all finally do
it. About time.
You know what I'm
saying? Yes. You feel obligated to stay with them. You feel obligated to stay with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks because it's like, or you be feeling like, oh, well, they need me.
They need me.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah. So then it's like you pitying them.
Yeah. You're always fighting.
Yeah, if you're always fighting. Stress.
Toxic. You're always toxic. Stress. Toxic. That means time to let it go. Because you know that wears me. Like it ages you. It gives you all kinds of health conditions. Because it's always the constant fighting. It's like you want to have your peace. You want to have your peace.
And that's why, so like, don't let things like that linger on.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's like, you know, like settle those things and figure out what's going on as quickly as possible.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Whew. There's no intimacy.
Right.
There's no intimacy. It's like we talk about like having no emotional or physical connection in the intimacy part, but what about there's absolutely none, period. Absolutely none. The trust has taken a hit. It's really taking a hit.
Yeah.
You know, like
because trust be hard to get back.
It'd be hard to get back. Like they done something in a relationship that makes you like not trust them. Like I've been in a situation like that, like trust is taking a hit. Like I can really speak of that. And I'm like, how do I trust you now?
Right.
Like, how do I trust you?
Yeah, it's like I don't trust somebody. I always got attitude as soon as I see him.
You know what I mean? It's like it makes you look at you different. Right. It definitely does.
Every time I look you, my eyebrow up like this.
Yeah. Like, it's like they said, why are we in a situation? Because you did something that made me not trust you. You know
Every time you say something, I'm like,
Yeah, it does. Like that's real talk. That's real talk. You know, like once that trust factor comes into play, like ooh, that can really like mess with a relationship, like, and you have to really like try to like build or get past it or whatever.
It's almost like they have to.
You have to work harder to earn it again. You really do. You really do.
People, especially if they're not willing to put in that work.
Yep. And some people don't want to put it work.
Right. That's letting you know.
That lets you know right there. That lets you know right there. Yeah. If you did something to make me not trust you in a relationship, you should be working overtime to try to regain my trust again. And if you're not willing to, then why should I even bother?
Yeah, but like, and I don't know how long it's going to take.
How long it take? Exactly.
But just keep on
working on it. Exactly. Yep. Jealousy is getting the better of you. You'll be with somebody that's totally jealous. Like you see, you don't want nobody around your partner, this and the other. Then maybe it's time to go. If you're always so jealous, it is a headache. I've been with somebody that was like overly jealous. I mean, it's stressful. It's stressful. Yeah. It's like
every person that you talk to, hug or something.
Yeah. Oh, who that?
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody you screwed.
Yep. What y'all messing with each other? Y'all got something going on. That's stressful. It's stressful. Especially me and my personality. Like I'm a hugger. Like I'm very social. You know, we like that. You know, and if you want an insecure person that can't like deal with that, it is not gonna work.
Yeah, it's tough time.
Very insecure. Oh God. Yeah. Always jealous. Like, ooh, child. That's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Yeah, I've been in a situation. You don't spend much time together. As a reason, a situation where it may be time to end it. If y'all not spending any time together, like you doing one thing, they always doing one thing. Y'all never do anything together. Like functions that happen, y'all don't want to go. Yes, exactly. Yep. You don't hardly see them or whatever. You know, y'all coming and going like two thieves in the night, stuff like that. Yep. Your emotional needs are not being met. Your emotional needs are not being met. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you know you might just need that partner to talk to you or something like that, and they don't have time to talk or be there or listen to you. Like you want to feel like you have a best friend that you know when things are happening that you can lean on that person to talk. Exactly. Yeah. So if your emotional needs are not being met, that's a sign that it's time to go. Because sometimes things can just bottle up and build up, and you really need to talk, and you don't have them to talk to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's that, and you're considering cheating, or you already have. Yeah. I'm like, if you're considering cheating, you should go ahead and be out. Yeah, before you know. Actually, though, yeah, because it's hurtful. It's very hurtful. Absolutely. Yes. If you're starting to have those thoughts, that you need to step out, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go, because you're gonna have a whole bigger problem. Right. Because once you do that and get caught, it's a whole other situation. So if you're already thinking about that, or you already done it, it's no. Yeah. There's no even sense that I don't have that relationship anymore. Yes. Ooh, I know it gives you a lot to think about, right? You start thinking about it's like we're right back to the beginning. How people will still, you find out, people they doing stuff, but they being secretive. Yes. They trying to, stick around because of certain benefits, all kind of stuff that it's like there's so many different, scenarios. With relationships. Yes. So many different scenarios. The ups and the downs. Yes. Yep. They said like if you have a frequent occurrence of disrespect, belittlement, verbal or physical abuse, it's crucial to prioritize your emotional well-being. Yeah. And consider ending a relationship. If possible, try to remember relationships should be based on aspects of healthy understanding and support. So these are good things to take into consideration when you're trying to think about whether you should stay or you should go. Should I stay or should I go? Okay. Yes. Yeah. But I love all of that. Like I say, I gave like a lot of really good key points. Yeah, a lot of things to think about, because I'm sure there's a lot of people right now, and that's exactly what they're contemplating. Right. Yes. This is real. Yeah. I know I've been in that situation a lot. Like, I know I need to leave. But should I leave? Or sometimes I'm in a situation that I want to leave, but it's like different things, circumstances won't let me leave. It's like it's tough. Yeah. Yeah. So now we're gonna move on to friendships. Go on to friendships. So, you should stay in a friendship when it feels supportive, respectful, and mutually beneficial. Where you can be yourself. I totally agree. And where both parties are actively contributing to the relationship. However, you should consider leaving a friendship behind if it becomes toxic, draining, disrespectful of your boundaries, manipulative, or consistently brings negativity into your life. I feel that. It sounds just like a relationship. Yes. Because you can be in a friendship like that. Is that something? Yeah. It's like, because, when you have a relationship, they say, it's like this, you getting that support, you getting like the love and things, and, you getting that reciprocity. It's easy to stay in those things. Yeah, like if you start feeling anxious or unhappy with your interactions. with that friendship, then
Oh
yes. So
yeah.
sometimes you can't have that toxic friendship. You can,
Right. Oh
you definitely
my
can.
gosh. Yeah. People sometimes feel stuck in
feel
those.
stuck in the friendship. Like, oh my god, like I really want to like break free from this person, but they not letting me. Every time I come around, like we either bickering or they causing some kind of drama or something like that, and I don't feel comfortable being around them. You know, that happens.
And it's like when you want to be a good
friend. Yes. And stuff. Yes. Yep. So they said, so if you're deciding whether to stay or go in a friendship, it says signs that you should stay is if you have mutual support. Like your friend is there for you in times of need and celebrates your successes. Right. Real talk. For real. I had so many friendships that dissolved because when it came down to the wire and it came to them situations like, are you really a friend? Are you really supporting me? I realized that they really didn't support me. Right. So that friendship was they showed. And they're like celebrating your success. Not celebrate your success. Nope. Yeah. Yep. Celebrate your success. If they're not cheering for you, then you're against me. Right. Pretty much. They should be your friend. They should be your biggest fan, your biggest supporter. Be wearing the t-shirt. Yeah, exactly. Open communication. You can openly discuss your feelings and concerns without being feared or having judgment. So that's a good sign that you stay with that friendship. Yeah. If you like, you can talk and like you're not being judged. So I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes. And you know, and sometimes people be like, judging and stuff, and and like just in a friendship in a way that I don't know, sometimes they may not even be like realizing it. So, what I mean, and stuff, but that's why it's like, you gotta, be open when you gotta check people. You do. And say something and, because, they may figure because y'all friends or something, what I mean? It's like, oh, they may be saying things like, oh, you always do this, you always do something. And like, and you be kind of tolerating it. What I mean? Because, being polite or something and stuff. But sometimes it could be too much. It could be too much. Yeah, but then when you speak up, and they be like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that I was, making you feel that way." Yep. And they said, they have respectful boundaries. Your friend respects your personal space and your choices. That's what we said. Like, so that's a good healthy relationship that you should stay in. They're a positive influence. They encourage you to be your best self and support your growth. Right. Yeah. Just like being your cheerleader. Yes. And if you bring something to the table, they're going to support you on it. Yes, love that. Y'all have shared interests and values. You enjoy doing activities together and align on important life principles. Yeah, something about my Roddy. Think about my Roddy. Yes. Woo, so that's when you should really stay in a friendship. But what about when you should be trying to leave? Consider leaving it. Signs you should be leaving it. Constant negativity. Yeah. Constant negativity. If somebody is negative, yes, negativity. Your friend frequently complains, gossips, or brings drama into your life. Yeah, you should definitely consider leaving. It's always drama. Yeah. Like you can't go up to this person and they always ready to fight or cause a conflict somewhere. Like maybe it's time to distance yourself. Distance yourself. Yes. Wow, this reminds me because when we talked about friendships before, yes. If they're emotionally draining, like spend time with them leaves you feeling exhausted or depleted. Yeah. Yes. Cut down your time. Cut down your time with them. Exactly. Or introduce some other things that Yes. Yeah, what I'm saying. Like maybe some things that you like that don't be, exhausting. Draining. Yes. Lack of respect. Oh yeah, that's already like that's already a wrap. Lack of respect. They disregard your feelings or your opinions or try to control you, and that can happen. That can definitely happen. Too. Yes, like just want to run your life and tell you. Yeah, some of them like them. Oh yeah, we was talking about the faux friends. The faux friends. Yep. The faux ships and stuff. Yep. Yep. Betraying your trust. Betraying your trust. They have lied to you. They share confidential information. Or they significantly hurt you. Yeah. Yeah, especially when you confide in them and you tell them something that you expect to be between you and them, and they go and share it. So that's not good. That's not a good thing. it's one-sided. We talked about that. Like we had a whole conversation about friendship or friendships, you know. So this it just circles back around. You know, like if it's a one-sided relationship, like you feel like you're constantly putting in more effort than your friend is. That's a sign that you need to like leave it, let it go.
For real.
Leave it and let it go. Yes. I say important considerations. Oh yeah, manipulation is one. Like they try to guilt you into stuff. Like use tactics to get what they want.
I don't be liking that.
Yeah,
like just from
using
nobody.
that guilt trip, getting that guilt trip.
You know what I'm saying?
Be like, well, if you was my friend, you'd be doing X, Y, Z.
It'd be like, oh, you know.
I can't stand it. I personally can't stand it. Like, I got such and such going on. Like, so when you gonna do it, or when you gonna help me out? You know, be like, try to guilt trip and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't stand that. And I suppose you like you got something going on, other obligations, or it's a situation that you just can't be a part of, and they like try to manipulate you to be like, okay, I know my friend gonna be doing that, child.
Yeah, because
that's a whole hot mess.
Like that, like true friendship is understanding.
It is understanding,
and it's accepting of you,
very
who
much.
You are. It's not trying to manipulate to get its own.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. Yep. So they said like. Try and things to consider before whether you leave or stay in that friendship. Communicate first before ending the friendship. Try to openly discuss concerns with your friend and see if there's room for improvement. Okay, because you might sometimes you get that conversation, be like, "Listen, I didn't like that. So what we gonna do? Like, I need XYZ from you. Sometimes you gotta have those open conversations. I've had to have those conversations. Be like, I didn't like that. So going forward,
right?
Like I don't need for that to happen again, you know, because that definitely is going to put a wedge into our friendship,
right? Right, and you know, and when they care about you,
if they really care about you, they're going to be like, okay, they're going to try to fix it and try to work on the friendship. Yeah, that lets you know right there if they really value your friendship, you can have this conversation with them, and either they're open to changing and making it work, or they're going to be on the same stuff. Right. And then you could do a gradual fade, like if you decide to distance yourself, you can gradually decrease contact instead of abruptly just cutting ties. Yeah, I've done that a lot. I've done the gradual fade. I have. Like instead of just totally cut you off, I'll just back off. Just less talking to you.
The distance.
Wean yourself away. Like not doing functions with this person or being around them, not talking to them on the phone. You know, that gradual fade. I agree. I'm good for that gradual fade. If I totally they cut you off, it gotta be like in the heat of the moment, a situation, and I'm just like, I'm done. But if I feel like our relationship, our friendship is just not like there or mission, then I'll just like, I'm just gonna slowly fade to the background like that. And then it said like, and prioritize your well-being. A healthy friendship should contribute positivity to your life. Right. So don't hesitate to prioritize your own happiness. And that part right there.
I feel like at all times, it's just so important.
Prioritize.
Yeah, and not like over somebody else's happiness or like to the detriment of anyone else or anything like that. You know what I mean? But yes, but prioritize yourself. You know what I mean? You know, remember that you were important.
Yep.
You know, because sometimes we push ourselves aside so much for other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or for somebody else's happiness. Yes. You know what I mean? But it's like, that whole, what they say about like, you got to fill your cup first.
Fill your cup first.
You have to fill your cup first.
Yep. And they said like, like if you've been seriously betrayed, it should be reciprocated. Like it should be built on trust, your friendship. Right. Your mental health has been impacted. Like if it's negatively impacted, that means it's time to let that friendship go. Yeah. And if it's one-sided, one-sided friendships are so big, so big. Whew, like child.
For real though.
Yeah, like it's like very things that make you like think. Like you had to go back and soul search about a lot of these different situations and stuff. Okay, so we was talking about should you stay or go. We talked about
should I stay or should I go.
We talked about relationship. We talked about friendship. Now suppose you're in this job, that you just like toggling back and forth, like, oh my God, I'm sick of this job. I don't want to go. Like just the thought of getting up going there just makes me sick. Woo! Think about the pros and cons. Like, should you really give up this job? So it says, so you should stay in a job when you feel valued. Yes. Have opportunities for growth. Align with the company's culture. And are fairly compensated.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Woo.
You be liking the job.
That part.
Okay,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. However, you should consider leaving if you experience a lack of career advancement, persistent dissatisfaction, a toxic work environment, significant underpayment, or a feeling that your skills are not being utilized to their full potential. Yes. That is for me. I've seen so many colleagues come and go for a lot of these situations here. Like they don't feel like they have growth, not being fairly compensated. That's for me. Like I get stuck in that moment. Like I'm very loyal, like to my job, and I know that I pour a lot into it, and but it's always that little bird on my shoulders, like you doing all this stuff. It's like they ain't even paying you right. That ain't even paying you right. You know what I mean? Like that's real. That's real talk. Like you can put so much to it, and yeah, exactly. Like you pouring a lot into, but you're not being fairly compensated. That's huge. Right. That's why a lot of people leave jobs. A lot of people leave jobs just for that situation. You know, but they said like signs that you should stay. Okay, so if you're in a positive work environment, like you have supportive colleagues, which I do have that. You have good communication with the managers. I do, and you have a sense of belonging. So that's a positive thing. Okay, career progression, opportunities for learning new skills, taking on more responsibility, and potential for promotion. Yeah, sometimes you don't really know that, in the moment, but like if it's constantly communicated to you that there is opportunity for growth or something like that, then it's like things that you want to take in consideration before leaving the job. Your values align. Like you feel your personal ethics and values align with the company's mission. Right. Okay.
It's a place where you want to be.
The place where you want to be and grow. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Fairly compensated. Like you have good salary and benefits. Right. Because sometimes you can be overworked or underpaid.
Yes, which ain't
working for nobody. Because bills don't stop. Bills keep going. Exactly. And you have meaningful work. Feeling passionate about the task you perform and the impact that you make. So yeah, when like you really like take pride in what you do and you know you're making an impact. Right. Like with your contribution. Okay, so those are signs that you should stay and not leave for a job. Okay. But now it's signs that you should leave. Okay. The lack of growth. Yeah. Which is big because sometimes you can get stuck in a job or position and you're not growing, you're just stuck there. Like a lot of times companies are just only thinking about their benefits and what you can do for them and not necessarily focus on you growing with the company. Okay. They said feeling stagnant. With no opportunity to develop your skills or advance in your role. Yeah, I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation where I feel more stagnant that I'll have no opportunities to grow. And it's like when I start feeling that way, it said maybe it's time for me to go. Yeah, because I'm gonna be stuck in the same role or position. Right. As long as exactly. If I don't make the change, I'm going to be stuck here. Yeah. So I understand. You burn out and stress. Consistently feeling overwhelmed, overworked, and unable to manage your workload. Yeah, I've been talking about I feel burnt out and stressed, and it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like I can't do this. Right. I've had a lot of those moments where I've been like totally burned out and stuff, and I've made a conscious decision that if I feel like that total burnout and just totally stressed out by being at work, then I'm not going to put myself through it. It's time to go. It's time to go. You're in a toxic workplace. High levels of conflict, negativity, harassment, or poor leadership. Yeah, toxic workplaces can definitely happen. It can definitely happen. Like it's always a bunch of drama. Like you can't get along with co-workers or something like that. Your leadership ain't good. Your leadership is caught up in all the other mess, and they not being fair, equitable and stuff like that. Yeah, that's when you know it's time to go. Ethical concerns like disagreement with company practices or feeling pressure to compromise your values. Right. Yeah, like for me that goes along with like you might represent certain holidays or occasions and your job is not being equitable, not respecting like your beliefs or something like that, and not allowing you to take off and stuff like that. Like that's a problem. That's a problem. A lot of jobs be like, no, you can't have all, but that's your religious belief or your ethical belief, and they tell you no. That's a cultural thing. Yeah, that's big.
Like Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's big.
So like some years ago, like we started taking off on Malcolm X's birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so like I would let my children take that day off from school.
Okay.
I did not send them to school. It would be it'd be like events down at Malcolm X Park out
Oh
in
wow.
Philly,
Oh wow.
and stuff like that. And we would go do that instead of people going to work and school on that day. Yeah.
Yeah. And they said undercompensated. Yeah, I mean, if you talk about that, like feeling significantly undervalued compared to your market worth. Yeah, that's tough. Like especially doing a position that you know that if you went somewhere else that you would probably make more or something. You know, so sometimes jobs can take advantage of you that way. As long as you stay in that situation, accepting them pennies that they give you, they're going to keep giving you them pennies.
Exactly. They certainly will. So that's why it's like it goes back to you. Like you don't take advantage of yourself.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you already know that they will.
They will.
You know, people, they will use you.
Exactly. They said disengagement, lack of motivation, feeling bored with your job and not enjoying it. Yeah, like if you go to work and you just like, I just really don't want to be here. Like, yeah, then it's time.
Oh my God. I remember one of my first jobs. Working as a medical records clerk. I did that in high school. And they hired me right after high school. But I remember being in there and just thinking like, I can't, like, I saw folks, that had been there for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And I remember thinking like, whoa, like, all right, just what I want to be doing for 20 years. And I immediately was like, hell no.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It was like, I just wasn't like a desk, sit down at a desk, a cubicle
type of person.
It was driving me crazy. I was constantly leaving and going outside. Like, it was in the summertime, right after high school.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be sitting inside and I'm like, it's cold. I got on a sweater and it is beautiful outside. And I was like, I'm gonna die. I couldn't handle it. I was falling asleep all the time. I started drinking coffee. I started drinking coffee, like several cups of coffee a day, just trying to stay awake and stuff. And I knew, I was like, this is not for me.
It's not for me
at all.
Yeah. So they said before you making a decision, like evaluate your options. Yeah. Consider if you can address concerns within your current role by talking to your manager, exploring internal opportunities, or making adjustments to your workload. That's real talk. Like if you talk to a manager or something, they should be able to tell you whether or not that you have opportunities or something like that. Reflect on your priorities. Think about what is most important to you in a job, such as salary, work-life balance, career growth, or company culture. And network and explore other opportunities. If you decide to leave, start searching for new roles that better align with your goals.
How about that?
I know a lot of people that have done that.
Go ahead.
That they've been a job for a long time, but it's like, okay, they feel stuck and they feel like it's not aligning anymore. And it's like, although the job is like, why are you leaving now? You've been here so long, XYZ. And they're like, no, because right now it's about me.
Yeah.
It's about me.
Yeah, like I knew that. So a lot of people that was in there that had been there for years, it's just because the money was decent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I'd have been paying, getting paid, well enough or something, I'm saying, I might have even hung in there. But I was like, this little bit of money was just it just wasn't worth it.
Not worth it.
You know what I'm saying? For just like the way that I was feeling and stuff. It was like, nah, but I went from there to the military.
Yeah. Yeah. So they said before you make that final decision about whether or not you should stay or quit your job, ask yourself if the job is interfering with your ability to function in 3 areas. Is it interfering with your relationships? Is it interfering with your physical health?
Okay.
Or is it interfering with your emotional health?
It was messing with my mental.
Messing with my mental. Yeah. If your job has a negative impact on your relationships, your emotional health, and your physical health, then it's definitely time to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you say, this thing is stressing me out. It's time to go. It's time to go. Man, yes. Wow, so we have given y'all a lot of different scenarios on whether you should stay or go.
Should I stay or should I go?
Exactly. Yes. But yeah, that has been our topic for today. Yeah, that made me think about a lot of things. And yeah, like these are things that you really should consider. If you are having these thoughts, whether it's a relationship or situation, a friendship, like just think about it. Like do your homework, write things that you know you like, things that you don't like, the different situations, the scenarios, stuff like that.
And it's like that homework is just doing. It's like that homework is self-evaluation.
Yes.
Self-reflection. You know. Yeah, being honest with yourself.
Being honest with yourself. Yeah. Being honest with yourself. Yeah.
Wow.
Woo, yes.
TV's life.
Yes, that was our discussion today. Should we stay or should we go?
Yeah.
So,
if you have anything to add, you know, leave a comment.
Right.
You know,
right.
We'd like to hear from you.
Yes. We appreciate you for tuning in for our Sister Talk Live. We do this every Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And like I always say, you never know what we're going to talk about. You never know what we're going to talk about. A lot of our topics are directly related. We right in the thick of it. Or we know somebody that's in it or impacted by it. Yes. But that has been our time today. I hope that you have a great rest of the day and a great week. And like I always say, if you have not done anything for yourself today, please do something for you. Please do something for you. Yes. And we hope that you will tune in to us next time. Until then,
goodbye from Goddess Janae, Resistant Healing Expressions.
Yes.
Goddess Tamika.
And
yes.
Hey. Yes, have a great week, guys. Peace. See ya.
Okay, I'll call you before then. Okay.